See, oh, somebody grabbed my hair. Oh, somebody wake me up in the night. So one day I was there alone in the house, and I start hearing somebody running in the stair, somebody coming and knocking the door. There was nobody in the house.
When you know that somebody has an entity attached to them, how do you diagnose it, a person, and how do you remove it?
Because each one we have a different role. This is the healer, this is the seer, this is the knower, this is the, the warrior, this is...
Hello guys, welcome back to the Wake Up Call. I'm your host Luis, and today I have a special guest, my shaman brother Ricardo, also known as Sanador del Viento. How you doing, Ricardo?
Hey brother, thank you for the invitation again.
Today we're going to be talking about deep topics regarding ancestral karma, yahe, also known as ayahuasca, and deeper topics that will pique everybody's interest regarding the spiritual side. You had all these experiences, you are where you're at right now in life, and I start thinking about the people that I've came across, right? And I'm sure you came across as well. And I think the world right now has this idea of what success looks like, right? Your idea of success is completely different than somebody who's maybe working on Wall Street or is, their life is based on material things. And, what is it, with, I don't know, I think the idea that we get fixed, or the idea of being fixated on material things, it is going to make us happy, right? And you see this, people, millionaires, people with a lot of money, they pursue this path, and they have like this emptiness inside of them, you know. And I think that's one of the things that we, as people, men and women, I think we need to focus on the things that are in front of us, right? Working on being present, working on relationships with family, brothers, sisters, mom, dad, even our kids, yeah, because our kids didn't ask us, they didn't ask us, they weren't asked to be brought into this world. We brought them into this world. We have a responsibility. And so, what is your, I guess, what is your, from your lens, from your point of view, what do you think is going on, around the world with people thinking that success has to be money, material things? How can we, I guess, where can we find peace in life, in our daily life? And from your experience, from what you've seen come across your path.
And that's a very interesting question. Very
Yeah.
powerful question, no? Especially in the way we live, no?
Yeah.
This modern life, no?
Yeah.
That we have now in this age, and it tends to evolve in that sense, no?
Yeah.
That's why the ancestor path is very important, because the elder to remind us not to lose to certain ancestrality, or to remind us, ancestral way too, to not
Right.
forget where we come from, to not forget to sit in front of a fire, to come together as community.
Yeah.
Things that we, as having a modern society, we tend more to isolate ourselves now. Technology definitely uh, can make us even more dumb,
Yeah.
to the day that we're not gonna think for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
because it was a process that I had to do, and question that. What is success from my point of view, or from my perspective, from the experience and knowledge I have gathered? And I question myself, because at the same time, I believe I came with a strong program already, program from society. I went to college, I had a family, so a father and a mother influencing me since I'm little,
Yeah.
teaching me them what they have learned, but nobody says that's the correct way. So in this path, that's why we say we honor you, but we don't follow you. And we
Mhm.
can see definitely how through generations, each generation have learned from the one before, and especially us drinking ayahuasca, wanting to do the correction, right?
Mhm.
Wanting to do the correction. So we came here to do the correction, you know, the correction in the safe, in the sense of correcting ourselves. I mean, if we talk about karma as an example, in our family, there is a theme, a topic, a vices, a sickness,
Right.
and if we are able here to resolve the karma, we're doing a correction, you
Right.
know I
Right.
mean, in another words, maybe if we do a healing regarding, a karma that is passed through generations, until we heal here in this moment, we're cutting that, right?
Right.
Because if we heal this, that karma is not going to pass through future generations. So I always
Right.
say, when we heal here, we're healing the generations before, now that they're in spirit, and it still move that karmic law for
Mhm.
me. That's my belief, and for future generations too, because and then they're not going to continue walking the way we got taught. So that's why we medicine we try to awake,
Yeah.
to be more awake. Is it means more consciousness, more awareness,
Yeah.
so I will invite each person to ask themselves that, So I have my own story, that happened to me, drinking ayahuasca, every weekend of my life dedicated to this, through many, many, many years, of practicing, of sitting down and drinking ayahuasca and studying, having my process of healing,
Mhm.
praying to God, praying to the medicine to show me, to help me heal myself,
Mhm.
And in one of those sessions, it came very strongly this, And then ayahuasca started showing me, start showing me what is success for me in that moment, and how that concept of success, was completely based of on what my mother thought it was success. You know?
Mm.
Completely influenced, based a lot on fear. So my mother had five children, we are two brothers and two sisters that I have, so we're five in total. So she always was a lot for her in life. So she always, with this worry, of responsibility, money, and wishing for the five of us to go to a decent school, hopefully to go to a college and study and become somebody, to become successful.
Right.
That's the way I got taught. Okay, you need to go to college, and then after college find a good job, and after that good job work yourself up, so study a mastery and continue studying, is obey and getting, in a sense, yeah, more studies, getting better based on competition. So for her, always her fear was of us, to become success so she could rest. Okay, I took them until this point. So
Yeah.
all the education I like was about teaching me or programming me. Hey, aware about money, do something in life. Be aware of this. Study, get money so you have success. He was this fear. What are you gonna do in life? No, you need to push yourself. You need to find a better job. You need to, always in the need of being like the most qualified, to for myself to find a good job, or for myself to build a success business,
Mhm.
completely based on that,
Yeah.
just that, like really more focus on like finding a way to have money.
Yeah.
That's the success that I see for a lot of people, for sure. That's what it means to be success, to have a way of finding money, and then buying your home, and then buying your things, and then
Mhm.
it based a lot on buying. No,
Yeah.
that's what we got taught in society, definitely. So me drinking ayahuasca, I start feeling this, she starts showing me, hey, this comes from fear. This is not the truth. And that's something beautiful about ayahuasca and why we drink,
Yeah.
because she takes the veil out, where we can really connect with the true self, with the truth that we have inside. We
Yeah.
have a consciousness, that show us the way. We have a consciousness that tell us,
Yeah.
how we should be. So in this session with ayahuasca, it popped up to me. It showed me that that's based on fear, So I had to question myself. Okay, and then how does success looks for me? Because I have seen so much people,
Hmm.
that are successful. I mean, having material things, but they feel so empty. They
Yeah.
feel so depressed. They feel so sad. They feel so lonely. They feel with so much anxiety. They feel disconnected, and having so much. So that success in that sense for that person doesn't even work. They find the success, but they don't feel good.
Right.
So the material things, sometimes I say the more we buy and get things, really, the most heavy,
Yeah.
So I learned like simplicity sometimes is very important, to be more simple in life.
Hmm.
So that's when I say that how our ancestors live, the message of our ancestors. Sometimes we don't really need so much outside. We tend to fulfill,
Hmm.
things inside, feelings, searching outside,
Hmm.
thinking that the material things and just by having and having more is gonna make us feel better. But really, really, sometimes what happens is that people tend to have more and more and more, and their credit cards and this, and they're in debt, and after it comes the stress, the responsibility, the anxiety, the fear, and it's too much to handle until it comes a heart attack, until I feel completely lost, until I feel empty, until because there's people sometimes that just focus on that.
Right.
And they don't give even a space to God, a focus to themselves,
Hmm.
a space and a time to themselves, to explore inside themselves, to question this question that you did, to question that inside ourselves.
Yeah.
What does my soul says? If we have been here many different lifetimes and we cover so much experiences, what my inner higher self says,
Hmm.
what for me at least success is, So I question that and I say, okay, if I can have a lot of things and be sad or depressed, I don't want that.
Right.
For me, success, how I see it, is more hopefully a state of being. Why
Hmm.
not being able to have peace in life, being able to not have so much problems in life,
Yeah.
being able to not have dramas and problems with all our relationships. I mean, to live more in harmony.
Right.
So I question myself because I always have the program of you go to study, you go to college, you're gonna be somebody. If you get a good job and this, and then you're recognized because your job and this, and not recognized of who we are now, more of what you represent. You know,
Mm.
not
Wow.
more, not the really person.
Right.
Who Ricardo is. Even in the family, sometimes like who really is that person, and sometimes we don't even take the time.
Yeah.
It's more based, oh, he is success, he's good because he does this or he works there and this, and we kind of qualify sometimes people like that, you
Yeah.
know but not really by how they are as person, no. So I questioned this in my life, no, and I did this question. Okay, if I have this program, that comes from many years of education and family and society, if I have this program and I question myself, I say, what about if that's not my destiny? What about if I didn't came here as a mission to have so much how I have been taught? And then what is
That's,
going to happen with
that's
me?
interesting.
What will happen to me?
Yeah.
Because this is the trick. People live on the desire.
Yeah.
People live a little bit on the future of what we should be,
Right.
or where we should get,
Mm.
in that sense of success. Oh, I should already have 40 years. I should have a business already. Oh, I should be the boss already. I should. But and if not, and then a lot of people comes frustrated with themselves, feeling unworthiness, feeling bad with themselves, feeling lost,
Right.
you know, based on that. So it's kind of tricky right there, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so people sometimes live on the desire,
Yeah.
living a little bit on the future. So I say, okay, if that doesn't happen to me, and my destiny is maybe to not have much material, because as a healer, you
Mhm.
know, I that's the reality.
Yeah.
And it's sad, spiritual persons, healers, and that's a reality. It's even hard to make a living. So normally, what do you have to do? Oh, go and work and give your time and your energy to a company that is going to pay for that.
Right.
So I know in the world many beautiful people, warriors of light, and they don't find a way sometimes to put themselves into service.
Right.
That was my experience a little bit, so I have to humble myself, and I say, okay, the most important here, the most important in the key is acceptance. So I learned how to accept the reality and adapt. So I say, okay, if I don't have much, I want to learn how to be happy, how to be in peace, how to be in harmony.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have much, but I want to feel good, that for me is success. If I have
That's beautiful,
if
man.
I have a lot, it's welcome,
Yeah.
but that is not what is gonna make me feel better or not. If
Yeah.
I accomplish a lot or little, for me more a simple life without so many problems, without so much stress, with not so much that velocity that people, in that routine of having to work and this and this, and that is very, very unhealthy for a lot of people, from
Yeah.
my perspective. So that right there, I learned.
Yeah.
I will accept, you know, if I have little, I accept and I will be happy. If I have a lot, I accept and I'll be happy. That
Yeah.
for me right there is success.
Man, whatever I have, I have to be grateful for what I God has given me, right? Whether it's a lot, okay, great. Me personally, my mom raised me to be very simple, and I'm super grateful for that because I even find myself now as a grown man, like I don't want all these things to keep up with. I don't want it. Like I just want to be simple. And sometimes I get made fun of, and like I get made fun of because well, maybe I don't have the car of the year, or maybe I don't have, you know, certain clothes. I don't care about those things. As long as I can breathe, I got clothes on, whatever clothes I have, whatever God has given me. For me, I'm grateful for just waking up. I'll start with that.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. I think we get so
Amazing.
disconnected with reality and being present and having just conversation that we're sometimes if we're not distracted by the phone, by the TV, by society's expectations, by social media. Imagine we look at social media, we get on, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, and you start seeing everybody's highlights. Like, brother, I know life is
Definitely.
great, but life can't be great 24/7. Like, let's be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see how people really, if people were actually transparent about their real lives, you'd get to see a little bit more of the I guess the I guess you could, for lack of better words, the darker side, right? The side that they don't get to show.
Yeah,
So it's
definitely. No, definitely. There is people here as an example that contact us and tell us their story, and
yeah.
we do our intake form, to see if they can drink medicine or not, or assist to one of our ceremony, or just searching for help. No,
Yeah.
that sometimes how they feel so empty, as an example, so depressed, but they have to put a mask and wear a mask and be another person in work.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
How
Yeah.
they a person, how you call the person that work in the airlines, in the fly attendant, the person was saying exactly that. How I have to wear a mask and I can be myself, but inside I'm destroying. I feel so sad and this, but I can't show that I'm sad. I have to put a face, and
Oh
sometimes
man.
it's so hard. And like, how, as you say, how people have to live based on the expectation that society have of you.
Yeah. That's exhausting,
And
bro.
a lot of people live in that.
Yeah.
So I'm giving all my power away. I'm living for others. And that's what you need to recover, the power. I don't live for nobody. I accept myself how it is, nice if things are around me are nice, like if people likes me, wants to be around, but not giving the power away, being
Yeah.
your true self,
Yeah.
being able to be yourself. So that's something very common that I see on people when they come to our space,
Yeah.
where you have done so much work on yourself to learn many things in life, but one big topic is to learn not to judge so much, as human
Yeah.
beings. You judge everything, you don't know, no? A
Yeah.
religion, a color of skin, way of thinking, culture, countries, separation, separation,
Yeah.
separation, based on just a judgment. But at the end, we're all human beings,
Yeah. What do you see from your experience? What do you see when people come in first timers, right? There's like a, I don't know, a misunderstanding, misconception of the plant medicine yahe, or some people know it as ayahuasca. What do you when I guess what does the medicine do to the people? Like we'll call it a before and after picture, right? Uh, what is the plant? What does the medicine do to you when you first take it? Like, what does it do when it first enters your body for the first time ever? Well,
for the first time ever. It's difficult to say because it's so mystical. This plant that in each person works differently.
mm,
For each person, the reaction is differently, what they get out of it differently.
hmm
Some sessions you feel amazing. We go in Colombia. Yahe sometimes make us cry and sometimes make us laugh, and it's
hmm
part of life. So I
hmm
say ayahuasca is like life itself. It can give you all the kind of different experiences.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna experience normally, depending how you are,
hmm
what you have inside, how's your heart, how's your mentality, any spiritual energy attached. It will influence a lot on how the plant medicine will work with us. So knowing what to expect is hard, but at the same time, it's beautiful
Yeah.
because, and then every time you're gonna drink, you know that it can be different.
Yeah.
So that's something powerful because imagine if it's all the time the same effect, and then you learn something and you stay there. But
Yeah.
ayahuasca doesn't behave like that. Mm?
Yeah.
Ayahuasca, every time you drink, you can experience different things.
It's always
So as a
different.
shaman, not all the time that we drink, and then we're gonna experience beauty and love. Oh, I have cried, I have suffered, I have felt bad. Normally, no, but depending.
Yeah.
If I come contaminating this, it's gonna be a little bit more struggle for me.
hmm
But at the end, it's for my well-being. So if
hmm
I struggle a little bit, a density and energy, something I ate, something toxicity, emotionally, but when we drink ayahuasca, is precisely to transform those feelings, to transform the vibration that we are at, to silence the ego, to get out of loops, to forgive a person, to see really what is happening, if it's my ego, how to heal, any situation, any relationship that we're
hmm
having in the moment. So through the plant medicine, definitely many different kind of possibilities.
Yeah.
But normally, depending what you drink, how you drink, but normally drinking ayahuasca is beautiful. You
Yeah.
can experience very pretty things, even
Yeah.
even ayahuasca opening your heart to feel love. I
Yeah.
have had patients that have manifested to me that they have never felt love
Yeah.
first time in their life. I have drink with priests that have drinking. I have never felt God. I know a lot about God. I have never felt God.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Now I understand.
Yeah.
So it's like powerful experience like that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you felt God before?
For me, as I was telling you, when I was more young, no, in my 18s and this, I was very atheist. Didn't believe like on God. It was more like science for
Yeah.
me, and like didn't have that belief definitely. Uh, so I started drinking ayahuasca, in my master's in Colombia, and one of my first experiences actually, was opening my heart. Definitely felt a love, vibration, energy that I never felt before. Like, wow,
Yeah.
life is so sacred and so beautiful. What am I doing in life? Sometimes being grumpy, waking up like not wanting to go to work, or fighting against life. Is this creation is amazing that God has created for us to enjoy. What am I doing in my life? Being grumpy or being angry or being sad or being depressed. That's being distracted from
Oh,
life.
yeah.
People are depressed, people are, yeah, you're living on the future, you're living on the past. This is, you invent sometimes your own sadness, your own problems based on a lot of expectation, programs,
Yeah.
perspectives,
Looping.
concepts that
Yeah.
we have,
Yeah.
So a person can suffer just because they feel they're not success, but success is just a concept created in their mind.
Nah, that's
So
crazy, bro.
while other person can have that life and can be, so yeah, it is like that, no?
Wow. Yeah, no, yeah, as I mentioned, you know this, I've being able to see what the medicine gives you different perspective, brother. It gives you different perspective because, at least from my experience, you have to understand, like, all right, have I been programmed? We all have. Yeah. What am I really falling into? Society's expectations? Am I even really taking time for myself? And majority of the time, the human experiences, brother, we're looking. We have again the programming. We have this idea of success. We're trying to chase this. We're trying to have this type of partner, and we have trying to have this, status, money, and fame. And it's not really about that. I think that we all fall into it, and sitting with the medicine is, a lot of people think that it's like, oh, you're tripping on whatever, and it's just you're high and you're hallucinating, but you open up a portal, right? The spiritual portal. You step into that. It's the unseen world, and now you get to see, and it's like your pineal gland activates, your crown chakra opens up, and then you just like, what is this experience, right? It's definitely an awakening once you go through that experience with the medicine. For one, me, I'm super grateful, brother. Came across this plant medicine and sit with her. It's beautiful. What can you say? What can you? How can you explain to folks that are like watching? As far as, is it a hallucination? Is it a portal that you open that is opened? What experiences come along with that when you sit with the medicine once you take it in? Because a lot of people think it's just like, hey, it's a chemical projection, it's DMT. Is it, what is it? Is it more on the chemical side? Is it more a spiritual thing? What is that?
Well, I don't know why you call it chemical side, but at the same time, yeah, I understand your question, but I will say, imagine us taking just an hallucinogenic plant and being a projection of ourselves. So
Hmm.
how are we gonna be able to gather so much information, so much knowledge,
Hmm.
if it's like that? It wouldn't work. If it's a drug, just drugging myself, well, my mental health would not be good.
Yeah.
My body will be damaged. you
Yeah.
know if we see and have a judgment if it's a drug. So I will be drugging myself 24 years of my life. I will be not in a good
Distraught. Huh.
situation. How our elders have learned and gathered so much knowledge and powers and secrets through this practice.
Yeah.
If it's always the same, if it's a drug and works always the same, there would be a limit of knowledge of things to learn.
Yeah.
But with ayahuasca, and my understanding, this is infinite. We never stop learning with her.
Yeah.
Actually, every time we learn more in depth.
Yeah. Hey guys, if this conversation has brought value to you and has spoken to your spirit, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Drop your comments down below, and we'll see you in the next episode. Yeah. So people that have like traditional, strict like religion backgrounds, right? We say a Catholic, Baptist, whatever. How do you connect both the plant medicine with religion? Is it just for what? Is it is the plant medicine only for a few people, a few like a group of people, or can any walks of life take this medicine? How does that those two connect?
Well, no. Ayahuasca first, we will need to understand that ayahuasca is a medicine plant. How many different plants are medicine plants?
Mm-hmm.
All plants have properties.
Yeah.
How we drink a tea,
Mm-hmm.
for a specific reason, because this plant is good for me to go to sleep. This plant is good for anxiety. This is good, for energies. This plant is good for diabetes. This plant is good for blood pressure. I
Mm,
mean, at the end, all medications, where do they come from? From the earth,
mm.
from the plants, from the
Yeah.
minerals,
Yeah.
or animals or minerals of plants. Normally, that's what it is about. All comes from there. So in the same plants, all the healing properties are there.
Yeah.
You know. Um, so I see it like that. It's another plant medicine,
Yeah.
that is a purgative plant. That's
Yeah.
how we call them. A purgative plant, a plant that purges the body.
Wow.
So our elders understood this way of cleaning the body physically, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. So ayahuasca is a purgative plant that we drink, that she help us to take density, to take sickness, through going to a bathroom, to maybe one vomit. I mean, I have seen this more than once, people not being able to walk,
Oh,
from
really?
here to there, a pain in the back, they have to stop. From there, two more steps, they have to stop.
Wow.
You know, a friend of mine with a problem in the back, medicated for years, medication not working, almost not being able to move and work with the pain. Going to all specialists and
Mm-hmm.
doctors, going outside of the country searching specialists and different kind of information, and nobody
Yeah.
medicated, and the medication didn't even took the pain. He told me, no, we're coming into a session of ayahuasca. I told her, ayahuasca is a medicine that you drink and it helps you clean the body,
Yeah.
in a cellular level, cleans a lot of organs, it cleans the blood too, it cleans the energy too, it helps us take feelings outside that get trapped, feeling of anger, feelings that get trapped there. It helps us remove, no,
Mm-hmm.
let's say any negativity,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking like I'm not knocking all over the counter medicines. I'm just saying that on a lot of situations, people will continue to take medicine years after years after years, and there's no remedy.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I understand that. I have seen so many patients dealing with similar things.
Mm-hmm.
As an example, depression, there is a lot of depressions that are really, really is not unbalanced chemical in our brain. Some depressions are not a mental problem. So some depressions you are not going to resolve with a pill,
Yeah.
because some depressions comes from a problem within ourselves,
Yeah.
inside. Probably it have been a process,
Yeah.
that took us to be in a state of depression
Mm-hmm.
that is very differently than me diagnosing somebody with depression.
Yeah.
That's how I see it, because as soon as you diagnose somebody, especially in this culture, when you diagnose you have this, what are you doing? You're putting that program in their brain. If they believe, that's why they are all around. No, I suffer depression. I suffer depression. I suffer depression. The reality is what? How do we heal depression? Through ayahuasca, as an example, resolving the issues that we have.
Yeah.
I have seen so much people that because they don't want to confront their wife and take their power back and their empowerment, they permit and they're completely depressed because of that.
Mm.
That's a situation you can resolve from life and you will not be depressed. but the person doesn't do it because he doesn't have the willpower, because it permits, and they prefer to be in the depression, and then they're sad and depressed, and then they go, and then they prefer to medicate themselves just to not feel it so much. But at the
Huh.
end, what is the problem? That he's not resolving the situation he needs to resolve. I mean, it invites us to step up. It invites us to come out of our comfort zone. It invites us to look inside and say, what is happening? Why
Yeah.
am I permitting this? It's the same if a person is in the same habits all the time, drinking alcohol, and not finding nothing really that is satisfying deep inside their soul. They're just having fun in the moment, fun in the moment, fun in the moment. Yeah, socializing with people that don't even care about you, because that's the reality.
Yeah.
A lot of people in that just showing a good face, but deep inside feeling bad, feeling lonely, feeling isolating, feeling sad,
Yeah.
and to the point, no, I'm depressed. And then I go to a doctor, no, yes, diagnosed. You are depression number two, let's say. It's
Yeah.
funny. You are depressed. Yes, I'm depressed. What do you have? Well, no, take this pill. And then I take this pill, doctor, it's not working. Take this another one. No, this one, take this one. This one is kind of working, but what is working is like they're not feeling.
Yeah.
They're not feeling it.
You get
But
numb.
as soon then you take the pill, and then what is going to happen? They're going to have the same problem. So some depressions or problems really is not the pill that is going to resolve that. As an example, a person that the alcohol is the problem that is causing a depression, you know,
Oh shit.
you
Yeah.
know, as an
Yeah. Yeah.
example, is
Yeah.
the alcohol, but I go and appeal for my
Yeah.
depression. But the reality is that if you heal, the situation with alcohol that you bring, and then probably you are not going to feel depressed.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
examples to understand sometimes how people are, and they want to depend on their depressions. It's an issue to resolve here. It's a change of perspective.
Yeah.
It's a forgiveness. It's empowering yourself. It's many different things, and sometimes we don't find that in medications. Medication may be really if there is a problem in the brain,
Yeah.
an imbalance, because science is science too. But a lot of people just are searching outside
Yeah.
what they have inside,
Mm.
searching outside, what they have inside. I mean, searching the solution outside, the solution is inside.
Yeah.
You correct from inside how you feel. Now, how? These people are depressed, right? Because the way they live,
Their lifestyle.
because
Yeah.
their lifestyle, they're stressed, and they're depressed. And now I go and take a medication that the medication is gonna do. It will have second effects. It will make me feel certain way. Maybe even depending on it, and I'm depressed. If I know that my lifestyle is what is making me depressed, I don't go and take a pill. I resolve the issue. What would be the issue?
Yeah.
Resolve the way of living, but even if it's to change completely your lifestyle, because sometimes we need to learn how to read the language of our soul, and sometimes it's our soul telling that no, it's not here, it's not the path, I feel like this, but I have fear of letting go.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I understand a lot of people, that the bills, the responsibility, I can let go my work, and they feel trapped,
Yeah.
and then they get into a depression. And then some people don't have the courage of doing the jump and saying no more of this, and I'm going to change my life.
Yeah.
you know but the person is not have a depression. The
Yeah.
person is probably distracted from life.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so much work, so much stress, that life is just that. What any human being will get depressed,
Yeah.
because as any animal, as human beings, we all need a space for joy, to let the inner child come out, a space of rest, a space of, but sometimes at the velocity that we normally live in this society, consumerism, work and work and work and work, there is no time for ourselves. There is no space on time to hear ourselves,
Yeah.
to hear my soul, what really. And sometimes we're so distracted that we're not putting attention to ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's where ayahuasca enter, and just by being a ceremony is giving a space for you to go and connect with yourself in a
Yeah.
deep way, silence yourself, let go of the problems, and new things will come up. Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah, I have, my experience is been with the with ayahuasca is like, I've let go of alcohol for quite some time now, and truthfully, the back of my mind, anytime I would drink, I would hear my conscience tell me, you're not supposed to be drinking that. You're not supposed to be drinking that.
That's what happens when you awaken consciousness. Yeah.
So now, I remember a ceremony I was sitting in, and I just told, I asked God and Pachamama, like, hey, remove any vices, anything that no longer serve me. And when it happened after the fact, it was like, no, I make a conscious decision that I will live life with no altered state with something that's low vibration. And so thank by the grace of God and gracias a Pachamama, it's no alcohol, nothing, no drugs, nothing. I've never been into drugs, but still, alcohol can destroy.
Yeah, simple, simple as that. For me, alcohol put us in our lower chakras. I mean, even to act as animals.
Yeah,
No conscience, no thoughts. Dangerous, to be a
yeah,
human being out of conscience, out of control, not knowing what you're doing,
yeah,
and to think more like as an animal. People act ridiculous,
yeah,
So alcohol is that. It make
yeah,
us dumb. It make us act like animals.
yeah,
Simple. What is like ayahuasca? What does it do? No, it makes you more intelligent. It makes you
yeah,
think differently. It makes you give you consciousness. It awakens your senses.
yeah,
Uh, completely different. It put us up here. Connection, God, spirituality, consciousness.
yeah,
More awareness, more mindfulness.
yeah,
The alcohol do completely the opposite.
yeah, man. It makes us
And one
numb.
is illegal and one is
Alcohol.
legal.
Yeah,
Why? We all know. We
yeah,
have a society more dormy and more dumb.
yeah.
Hmm?
I
Simple
wish
as that.
I wish everybody there was a requirement like the government would say, hey, before you're 21, you need to drink a cup, one cup, and that way, that would be my prayer for everybody because I mean, the medicine is not meant for everybody, but if it's called to you, that's beautiful. I encourage everybody
That's a
to,
good point because a lot of people have an inner conflict, no, especially when they come with a religious background.
ah,
Ayahuasca doesn't have to be like. In that sense, we need to understand that first of all, it's a medicine that is gonna
right,
help physical, and a
hmm,
lot of people really search more than a spirituality and something like that too. The effects of healing, how it
right,
heals our body, how it cleans and it detoxes the body, very
yeah,
important this vehicle, where our soul is here. So that's very important, so
yeah,
a lot of people have the inner conflict,
hmm,
because I come with this background, I come with this background. In Brazil, as an example, there is a religion that exists, Santo Daime. That is the most big
say
religion,
that again.
Santo Daime is
Oh,
the
okay,
most big religion, I say, that they do their masses with ayahuasca as their
hmm,
sacrament, as their way of healing and connection with God, because this is not a hallucinogenic plant. This is for
yeah,
ourselves and a spiritual
yeah,
practice,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because definitely something very spiritual.
right,
Because I always explain, ayahuasca opens all our senses, let's say our channels. We have an spiritual channel,
yeah,
that it opens mind for ourselves to be able to have more connection.
yeah,
It doesn't mean that every time I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna have the spiritual connection. No, or the big realizations or the big healing. Sometimes you can resolve a lot of problems in one session. Sometimes not so much. Sometimes I
hmm,
clean my density in my body. Sometimes I'm receiving more like downloads of information and connection. Because
yeah,
we all as human beings have the right, to search a connection to God
hmm,
through any way. So Ayahuasca help us definitely to connect, no, with the divinity inside of ourselves. I mean, God inside of ourselves.
Yeah.
That's something very, very important.
Yeah.
How people uh, have been to different religions and have not felt God, have
Yeah.
not find God. And a lot of them come and drink ayahuasca. Now I understand what God is, and
Yeah.
God is not religion. Religions help us. Have a blueprint. But
Right. As a
so
guide.
many religions in this world, so many.
Yeah.
No, each one have their way. You
Right.
know so why will us fight because you are from a different religion? So in ayahuasca is more open,
Yeah.
any, from any color of skin to any religion is open for each person because our belief is to the same time, God is inside.
Yeah.
And oh God, we all come from the same God,
Yeah.
you
No. Yeah.
know.
The creator.
God is inside. People needs to connect deep inside and remember, because we have forgetting, and that's the separation. you know
Yeah. I think that I don't think I know we're so doggone disconnected that man, all he wants to do is for you to talk to him. And no different than me and you talking right now. People
Mhm.
sometimes don't the excuse I say that is that I hear is oh, how do I pray? Brother, all you gotta do is talk. Just talk and
What did
pray.
they say? That's the big joke, no? When
Yeah.
we're able to remember that we are God manifesting Himself,
Yeah.
So we are God, so
In the image of him.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I say in the image of Him, Almighty, powerful.
Yeah.
And that's a big joke. Oh, I'm God here in earth experiencing itself, but
Yeah.
He needs a reflection to, the consciousness needs a reflection to recognize itself too,
Yeah.
because if it's completely alone, this it doesn't have, a way of understanding itself or seeing
Hmm.
itself or,
Yeah.
feeling itself.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. You've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of people come across you working with the plant medicine. What have you heard, or what do you think is the biggest like misconception or misunderstanding about plant medicine? In this case, ayahuasca. What have you heard? I know I've
Yeah,
heard one.
I have heard as an example people afraid, this is the most common because, oh, I'm afraid of what I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see all my devils and all my demons, immediately jump into that based on the fear. One of the big things we need to hear as human beings and
Yeah.
tap into and learn is the fears,
Yeah.
the fears that we have. So this is just illusions, because at the same time, that's not reality. It doesn't mean that you're gonna drink ayahuasca and you're gonna see all your negativity and your shadow, and it's about that. No, it's not about that. That is a possibility, yes. And as a
Yeah.
shaman, we're gonna pass through that and tap into our shadows, learn from them, our low vibration, how we can change this as human being. I don't want this, I don't want to be like this, I don't
Right.
want to feel like this, I don't want this energy, this intrusive thoughts,
Hmm.
so many things that happen as human beings. So we are searching definitely when we drink ayahuasca is to convert ourselves and better human beings,
Yeah.
for society, beings of light, beings with that we have work, a lot of work inside ourselves, working as I was telling you, like that's what is being a warrior of light.
Yeah.
A warrior of light goes to battle. A warrior of light, what is a warrior? A warrior goes and fight, no? So
Yeah.
if we're a warrior of light, we're gonna fight against what first? We're gonna go against in a battle
Other
against
selves.
ourselves. Not
Oof.
ourselves, against a part of ourselves.
Yeah.
That's what here people call shadow work.
Uh,
That's the warrior of light. To be able to drink ayahuasca, accept with a lot of love and not ego all our darkness as human beings, our low vibration, our bad habits,
hmm.
our bad emotions, our bad thoughts,
Hmm.
our shadows, our negativity or weakness as human beings that we all experience at certain levels.
Hmm.
A warrior of light with ayahuasca is drinking, tapping into that. And how do I transform myself? How
Hmm.
do I live my life with all these shadows making me act certain way? So all the shadows come through the vehicle of the ego,
Mm.
through the ego. So that's a work that takes many years to be able to continue working many years in integrity, many years, with compassion and service to the human being, with less judgment and healing that part of ourselves. So I say the warrior of life first, the first fight is with ourselves. So we learn how to kind of domain those energies that are inside out of ourselves.
Hmm.
I talk about, let's see, you can imagine it in a way, a lot of characters, and we're not just one character. We're many different characters. The depressed one, the jealous one, the angry one, the happy one, the inner child, many, the lovely one, different kind of aspects, characters,
Hmm.
personalities, or however you want to see it. I see it like that. And there is a part of us that is not so pretty. No,
Yeah.
and as shaman, okay, we enter to drink ayahuasca to heal that part of ourselves that is not so pretty and is more low vibration. And that's what a warrior of life, I believe. The first step is into that. That's what we call first you heal yourself,
Yeah.
and that is a process of many years that we do, compromising ourselves with God and compromising ourselves with the same plant,
Yeah.
and to do this work first for ourselves and for humanity, because from there, when we do this work now and we heal and we learn how
Yeah.
to transform, how to heal ourselves, it's a big discovery that from there we're discovering and learning and learning and learning what we're as human beings. So the more we can understand ourselves and learn from within, this is a path of auto knowledge. This is a path for learning about ourselves. This is a path of knowing ourselves more and more and more. The
Hmm.
most you can know yourself, the most easily you're going to understand the outside,
Yeah.
because we really go deep inside to understand really our psychic, our psychology, our subconscious mind, the programs that we bring even from ancestors.
Wow.
There is so much things, that we can look into it with the medicine to find a different perspective, thoughts, information, or how to change, transform,
Right.
heal, letting go, many things.
Yeah. So, from your experience, Ricardo, is this a constant? Like, yeah, I know you've done a lot of healing, but you also are around a lot of people who are in the pursuit of healing themselves. Is this a constant work for you as well? Like you continue to clean yourself, or did the work stop a long
No,
time
that
ago?
doesn't stop, I will believe, until now, though, because I can still feel sometimes aspect of myself, As an example, I can help somebody heal, that I do cleansings, spiritual cleansings. We call it limpias,
Yeah.
curanderos. They work a lot on the energy of person,
Hmm.
spirituality and spirit, very important. So we're talking about the invisible world. We're
Yeah.
talking about energies now. A very important concept for a shaman. No, so energies are energies. Definitely, we recognize that. So as an example, people come depressed. For them, or with witchcraft
Hmm.
or identity attachment is causing depression. When we help a person like that, there is always an exchange of energy in this
Yeah.
universe. You put an energy out there, you grab an energy, and it's like the constant movement. So as an example, yeah, it doesn't stop because sometimes I can get contaminated. No, now
Hmm.
always, 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 I will have to be always on check where my ego is at. As I was explaining you to more earlier, I would believe some big gurus that we have had, shamans. I always say the temptation is always going to be there. The
Yeah.
dark side and the devil is always going to see how it can infiltrate our life,
Yeah.
to get confused, to get us out doubting,
Yeah.
to get us out of the path, of pursuing the light in God, being a good human being.
Hmm.
So I say always it won't stop because we always have to have very awareness, a lot of awareness and mindfulness, checking in with ourselves, because Sometimes, yeah, we can contaminate ourselves, our way of thinking. We can be too much ambition, just doing and thinking just on money, doing bad practices,
Yeah.
manipulation, especially when people get in a state of power, or success, and then internally we can start like toxifying our mind,
Yeah.
our thoughts, and then taking advantage of people, starting feel more than others.
Yeah.
And like for me personally, that's the path, of healing, more like humbleness, compassion, understanding, less judgment, more service,
Yeah.
to the other ones that need,
Mm.
uh-huh.
How do you when somebody has somebody, so let's just say, how do you remove an entity? And maybe that's, or let me ask the question again. When you know that somebody has an entity attached to them because the person has gone through whatever X, Y, and Z, yeah, stress, toxic relationship, addiction, whatever the case may be, they're attached. How do you diagnose it, a person, and how do you remove it? Like,
Yeah,
what are the proper ways or proper steps to remove that entity from that person? I mean,
yeah, in different religions, in curanderismo, tradition, path, there are many different practices, many different ways as well, as I
hmm
was mentioning, even in the Catholic religion, they have priests specialized for exorcism and cleaning like bad energies, through prayers, through
hmm
holy water, through they each one have their own way. But how to diagnose? Actually, we drink ayahuasca for that, to be able to see,
yeah,
to be able to really see.
yeah,
So medicine open us up, to
yeah,
have an experience. If we have entity attachment, I passed this in my life. I had to go and search help outside into different kind of knowledge and currents to see who could help. But at the end, I understood that ayahuasca always showed me what was the problem. Always showed me. So to diagnose in ceremonies, we can notice,
hmm
we can notice the same patient itself. The ayahuasca can come and show the situation, the problem, where it comes, or what is it. You can have visions related with darkness. You can feel bad, you can feel dark. Probably in those cases are gonna be, an entity attachment.
yeah,
So some shamans have that eye, some shamans have the experience, we can feel, we can perceive, the medicine can show us, the same patient can notice. And that's beautiful when it happens, because sometimes I recognize this, and it's a little bit difficult to go and say to a person, hey, you have a bad spirit. And sometimes even with their religious program, that could be a lot, or their judgment, or they can get more in fear or more scared. So in this sense, I always try to work very gently with the person, but I'm very happy when the person itself discover by themselves. They say, I think I have this. I
hmm
experienced this. What do you think? Well, based on my experience, when we experience ayahuasca like this, it's indicating, hey, you know. So when we drink ayahuasca, it's to check our spirituality, our
yeah,
spiritual channel. What is there? What is attached? Good energies, bad energies, what my spirits, my angels,
hmm
opening the mind, the consciousness to think different, to receive different information, sometimes to think to the heart, uh, mm.
yeah,
I say ayahuasca can be a consciousness trip to our subconscious mind too, so we can go there, open the door, the subconscious mind, traumas can come, it can open our heart, to feel. There is something very important.
yeah,
The feelings, especially men, to tap into the feelings. Sometimes, how am I feeling? How can I change from one feeling to another? How can I change my energy from one to another? A vibration, How do I can get out from one loop to another? How can I change one thoughts to another? Doing alchemy.
hmm
That's the really alchemy, when
hmm
you are a master on changing energy vibration from one to another,
hmm
from solid
yeah,
to liquid, you know from anger to from fear to happiness, from anger to joy, What do I want to feed inside ourselves? Of
Mhm.
course, all the feelings are valid and are there, but what am I going to feed? The anger, the jealousy, the envy, the
Mhm.
ambition, you know,
Yeah.
all the ego. Am I going to feed this part of ourselves that is dark, or am I going to feed the good part of myself? And that's what I think the path is about, to
Yeah.
not permit ourselves to contaminate ourselves, to start acting based on low vibrations energy, to put it in a way.
Yeah. What do you say? What's your feedback on like somebody who's like, oh, I don't do any bad by anybody. I don't, I've never done anything wrong to anybody to hurt anybody. Um, it's people who are like in this loop. Yeah, in Spanish we say "están salado," right? Where like there's nothing but just bad luck. How can you tell if something's passed down through karma? Like not just because let's just say perfect person, right? Good heart, good intentions, but they always feel like, yo, I got the case of bad luck all the time. And the where I'm trying to get at is too is like it can it be passed down?
Yeah,
And how do you
of
how do we heal
course.
those things then?
Of course, there are many different ways, many different practices of healing in the world.
Yeah,
I can talk about ayahuasca, how we can heal, but definitely they're passed down.
yeah,
As an example, how do you know if it have been a thing in the family?
yeah,
you know some sickness came to somebody, got created by an experience, and that sickness started passing down you
yeah,
know through the family. Some courses, family have courses and this, and they get passed, they are made for that, to be passing down to you know
yeah,
to the person. Yeah, you can look back your family, alcoholism,
yeah,
something that passed down. Oh, normally my grandfather, oh, normally my father, and we're repeating the same story.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
repeating the same story. So you can notice there sometime when it's karmatic, you know, when it's karmatic. Now there are many different reasons,
Yeah.
If you're talking spirituality, well, there's many things that exist in this world,
Hmm.
many different magics, as there are magics used for healing, as there are magics to do damage. And it's very
Yeah.
common, actually, very common, more than what you would imagine.
Wow.
How much people go and access certain information and start doing magic to other ones, and how is a reality that things affect, because everything is energy.
Yeah.
So it's profound, because there is people that definitely bring a destiny. you know
Yeah.
yeah, now people came here to this world to be rich.
Yeah.
No, even if you want to and you will work hard, if that's not your destiny, that's not your destiny.
Yeah.
You can't change the destiny of selecting your father and your mother. That's a destiny already written down.
Yeah.
So if my life is and my experience was chosen from my own soul to come here and have that bad luck, and that's part of my teaching that the soul needs, and it's perfect like that.
Yeah.
So if that's my destiny, you know now there is a destiny that we build, depending, of course, every time on our vibration and our actions in life, what we are emanating to the universe,
Hmm.
and our decision. That's why we need to think too wisely on each decision every day in life, because a decision can change completely. But definitely, as an example, a sickness, a thing written down, even though if you want to get out of it, you know, there are many ways of helping yourself. So I believe that we have a destiny written down, and based on that, we can start. If I know my destiny, in my destiny that I recognize now through medicine, different ways, like, okay, I have that tendency in life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had the tendency of getting sick. I don't know, because I return any sickness, or
Hmm.
So I will have to do a lot of things to prevent that.
Yeah.
And maybe if I do those things, maybe I prevent that. If I don't do nothing, I won't prevent. Maybe if I do things, maybe that destiny is not gonna be so hard for me. So
Yeah.
there is a way, spiritually and energetically,
Yeah.
to kind of modify, to kind of pray and ask for, and there is many pieces that can move in the spiritual world to help us here.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I have learned. So you had a question like, when we drink ayahuasca, and we tap into the vision. Now that is not hallucinogens. Now it's tapping into different realms.
Mm.
Different frequencies of different energies. Different planes of existence that it exists.
Yeah.
That are invisible to these eyes,
Yeah.
but there is much different realms that we are in, not just this one right here. you
Yeah.
know so there, when we enter and we tap into this world, the world of pinta, it's
Hmm.
called in Yahe, the world of pinta for us mean that the visions very specific of medicine. So it's kind of a space, a reality around, no? That is around, that is more spiritual. It's around that is more tapping into the consciousness. I mean, the universal energy where everything is there, tapping into the consciousness, into spiritual realms.
Hmm.
So if I'm able to tap into the consciousness, where is all the energy, all the program of this world and this. And if I tap into there and I'm able to change something here and reprogram and do something spiritual that help me here, and then this have a rebounds.
Hmm.
And from there, if I do something here spiritual and then this have a rebound away, and this energy will affect that destiny in a good way. If I do
Yeah.
something spiritual, is I don't know if it's clear for you, but that's kind of how it is.
Yeah. No, I no, I understand it, but I also noticed that, or one of the things that I've come to understand is, well, what we do. We talk about ancestral karma, right? We forget about the what our actions, how they will impact our kids' future. Yeah, and that's why it's important for us to be very aware and mindful of our decisions that we make, because not only they're going to impact us personally, but we pass down whatever we do. Our kids will pay for them, and our kids will pay for them. So future generations will pay for them. So no, it's that's been my one of many realizations. But let me ask you another question I have. With all these things that we talk about, dark entities and stuff that happens in the invisible world, we also have to have somebody who helps us and guide us, like spiritual guides. Yeah. How do they speak to us? And what form or what
I
ways
always feel there is many different ways, no? There are many different gifts, I think they're called, no?
yeah.
Clairvoyant,
Yeah.
audio. I don't know in
Yeah.
English,
Yeah.
I know the terminology in Spanish. But there are different ways people can feel, people can hear, people can see, people can dream, people can have signs in life, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a way of reading very well, silencing a little bit the mind to be able to connect, to be able to feel. So there is people that brings that destiny, very, very psychic people,
Right.
all the ones that are completely different because each one we have a different role. This is the healer, this is the seer, this is the knower, this is the
Hmm.
warrior, this is, let's say, kind of, we all have that ability.
Yeah.
We all have that ability. I have perceived that in my life. I'm not the most psychic in this, but definitely medicine gives us vision. Medicine gives us opening the senses,
Hmm.
connecting us more because the most we heal ourselves in those shadows, we are elevating our energy, to connect with elevated spirits, that are going to companion us in the path, helping us every time we do a healing. So those energies come to help us so we don't do just the work ourselves. We're always tapping to spirit, asking the assistance, first of all, of God.
Yeah.
First of all, God, I'm gonna do this healing, this, please help me. I have these situations, you know. Now there are many different way of communication. There's ayahuasca, different religion, different practices, spiritism, psychic, different
Mm-hmm.
mediums, way of learning that too. So each person have their own gift, but we can honor, we can offer, we can do offering, we can do altar, we can call upon.
Mm-hmm.
I love when I call upon to God and my father, is now ancestor, he's not here in this realm. My spirit guides
Mm-hmm.
that I don't know them all. I have already recognized some, but probably there is more. There are some that radiate a lot of energy. There are some that help us from more far in this.
Mm-hmm.
Depending how long they have passed and everything. But definitely the most beauty for me have been, yeah, as a rational person, actually, and wanting to prove this, wanting to prove spirituality, that this is work, that this is not an illusion, that this is real, like
Yeah.
as a shaman, entering this practice, asking the same spirit of ayahuasca, Mother Earth, our spirit, and oh wow, what I have accomplished in life,
Yeah.
but not me. I know always that from the spiritual realms, they're helping us there. They're like people invisible
Yeah.
that all the time is around, and like if you don't ask, they're there waiting for you.
Yeah.
If you don't ask
Yeah.
God, I
That's
mean,
true.
ask for the help, ask for what you need. So that happened to me. Oh, situation. So all my life I've been seeing like orchestrated for me,
Yeah.
for that soul that is still here to accomplish his destiny. But that depends on me. If I'm aligned and connected, I'm gonna receive all that help. So it have been so much years of that practices. I know I'm not alone.
Yeah.
This is not coincidence. So like that.
Yeah.
Uh, so it have been a beautiful thing for me. I know I'm not alone. I know all this movement around here and so much coincidence, so much movement. Like how can this happen? And it's incredible when your soul is aligned in your destiny, and then you start living just in blessings. Everything orchestrated for myself to accomplish the destiny I came here to do.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
beautiful, man. Yeah, I've had that, a similar experience with my father, man. And he's somebody who I didn't have a lot in my life. Matter of fact, I didn't have at all, really. But he came down and he showed me. He's like, I'm here to help you. I know I didn't give you the life that you'd wanted, but I'm here to help give you the life you deserve. And you know, but you got to call first off. You got to talk to God and ask God for help. And I I I personally believe that we all have, spiritual guides that help us, but we got to call on them, ask them, pray,
Definitely, yeah.
and so
No, right there, one important thing to know, secret or knowledge is, yeah, some people think they're channelizing their spirits.
mhm,
Some people think they're connecting with certain spirits, team of them. But that is tricky. That's why in spirituality, it takes time. Yes, people are spirit, they study, and study and practice, and practice. Okay, I'm a spirit, and that's it. No,
no,
you know. So that's the key right there. If we heal ourselves, that's very important. If I want to connect with a good team, with good spirits, it will depend how you vibrate. If you're not a good person, you're doing bad here, not good spirits of light are gonna be helping you to do bad things.
no,
It works simple as that. If you want to connect with good energies on it, it will depend especially how you vibrate. If you're a
no,
person that have hate and have all things, I don't believe there are gonna be good spirits helping you
yeah,
in the past. So that
yeah.
is very.
So with everything that we've discussed so far in your experience, where do we go when we die?
Hey, interesting question, no? First of all, I can just give my opinion because it
Yeah,
will be an opinion, even though I believe we come from there, but somehow we forget, no? Or we come from the spiritual realm. What I have experienced ayahuasca, I believe, is gonna be very similar of when we die. It's
hmm,
like a trip in ayahuasca.
yeah,
Possibly, we will see all the reflection very fast of what we did here on Earth.
yeah,
I think somehow it's like not just, but it will be like recorded, like, and you will see, the things that you have done in life. But I believe we go to different realms
Hmm.
depending the evolution of your spirit. You
Yeah.
know, as an example, doctors. You know, whatever you do here in this dimension, possibly is gonna go to that kind of dimension. I mean, how is above, how is above
Is
is
below.
below,
Yeah.
right? So normally, if the spirit here, and I'm a doctor, you know, and I'm a good doctor, serving to God, doing missionary things, possibly that spirit is more evolved,
Yeah.
sense, because the dharma that it created, serving, being a good spirit, it can be recognized, and when this spirit dies, it can go to, let's say, like the realm of doctors.
Yeah.
you know I was talking to you, like we say in Spanish, cortes espirituales. It's
Hmm.
like say spiritual courts,
Yeah. No.
different Arabic, you know gypsies,
Hmm.
native, you call it,
Hmm.
Chinese or Hindu.
Hmm.
There is already different kind of spiritualities, realms that energies belong. Talking more about like frequency, more energetically, not so physically.
Hmm.
So depending on our behavior and what we came here to do,
Hmm.
if I bring a good mission in my life, serving, and I accomplish that destiny, I feel my soul, you know how other person might come here, very sleep and doing bad things and destroying and this, those spirits definitely go through another different process. Because at the end, my conclusion is the evolution
Hmm.
of the spirit,
Yeah.
precisely. Okay, we will have to come again to do the corrections. What correction? To heal ourselves. I
Yeah.
mean, for that spirit to evolve. Because the physical body dies, but all the experience, the conscience, and the energy, that we have gathered here, that will continue for sure.
Yeah.
So I believe we can go to different rounds, how they are low density rounds, because persons that work with spirits, and have this learning understanding, their shamans even able to control, a bad spirit and put them to work for them. This
Mm.
exists, going into a cemetery and doing a pact with a spirit. I give you this, but you're gonna work, and I can control and domain that spirit. With that spirit, I can command and I can send and I can do healing by spirit, but because they work with a spirit that they gather, but more like slavery of the spirit.
Mm.
So that exists as well. So depending if you create here dharma or karma, you know.
Mhm.
So as we know that it's possible to even grab a spirit and put them to work, so we can recognize that there are spirits that are lost.
Yeah.
Some spirits maybe not even transcending, they still here,
Mhm.
attached to the physical world,
Wow.
it exists. Haunted houses, what is that? I'm a spirit that used to live there, because I have my own experience in a house of my family that they had. They bury the person there in that house, house that my sister bought. They bury an ancient, a grandmother, and they start having experiences. Oh, somebody grabbed my hair. Oh, somebody wake me up in the night. So one day I was there alone in the house, bam, and I start hearing tack, 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 tack. Somebody running in the stair, somebody coming and knocking the door. There was nobody in the house, and I still got chills, with that experience. I'm like, what? I hear it. I'm like, I'm gonna go down the stairs. When I go down to check, poof, the light goes off.
Oh
God, I
hell
got chills immediately. I'm like, oof, I feel the presence of that energy still walking around the house, and I immediately everything dark in the house. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna find my tools, my spirit things,
no. Yeah.
my white and my perfume, and start praying to take this energy out.
Yeah.
I went to the room, I grabbed my tool, I started concentrating, praying, praying, cleaning, 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 cleaning. I start feeling that. because for a moment I was sitting down here, I go like this, and I had a shadow behind me, you know.
Oh wow.
Oh, and I had that encounter myself that my family had because it was a vacation home. So a lot of little, my niece and my nephews, 12, 10, 7, had, nightmares, kind of problems. So I even called a priest one day to come and bless the house, and I did it myself. I had that encounter. I started cleaning and praying. That
Yeah.
energy went away, and immediately the light came back again. Hmm?
Yeah.
So we can recognize those spirits as an example. I had to investigate, okay, how do we remove this spirit from here? Because it's very ancient and it's very strong.
Yeah.
So I pray and I clean, but if that spirit want to encounter and fight with me, it can even create a damage,
Yeah.
energetically,
Mm-hmm.
As an example, a bad luck, a curse from my spirit. You're talking about somebody have bad luck and bad luck and bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
You never know when you step because there are many things buried and there are many different sacred spaces, things like this. That they bury a person here and that person got attached into this realm and wasn't able to transmute to transcend, and
Mm-hmm.
they still attached to the physical realm. That's what people call ghosts and this.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a word, with Archangel Michael that we can call upon, because he's the one that comes and show the light for that spirit to recognize again the light, so they know how to transcend where they go, because they can even steal that they are alive here,
Oh wow.
attached to this world. So always for the spirit is an invitation for them. Every time you have an encounter, remember, look inside and find the light inside yourself, because
Yeah.
they lost the light completely.
Yeah.
And that's why we can call upon the Archangel Michael to help us come, show the light, grab those spirits to help transcend. Because
Take him
for a
back home.
moment in my life, I studied angelology, angels. I did
Mm-hmm.
courses, and part of our practice was to go into spaces that they were war before, a lot of wars, so a lot of spirits that die there, ripping it. So nobody helped them, nobody cried for them. The spirits are lost, that they still don't know what happened to them. And part of our practice was to go to these places, and do this work, calling upon the archangels,
Yeah.
especially Archangel Michael, to come and help us transcend these spirits. And oh
Wow.
my God, the experiences I had. I was in places that even, I remember one that happened to me. I had my phone, and somebody start texting to my phone in my name in like codes, and like I receive a message. And we got, what is this?
Why your phone is in your hand?
Yeah, I had my phone. When I opened my phone, I had a message, the
Shit.
most weird. I think it was a long time ago, so no
Yeah.
WhatsApp in this. It was
Yeah.
just the only thing was the message in the phone,
Wow.
an encrypted message for us. We had to even grab our pendulum and ask, this message for Ricardo, this message for Maritza, for who is this message? They responded, it was a message for me. That a spirit wrote asking for help, because that spirit recognized that we were doing that work and it needed help. And it didn't find a way of communication through my phone, through even
Wow.
technology. The
Wow.
most weird thing. We had to investigate and everything. We conclude this was an spirit asking for our help in that point, for ourselves to help them uh, transcend,
Yeah.
because those spirits they recognize the light that
Yeah.
you have. And that's what happened when we drink ayahuasca, we heal ourselves, we emanate more light.
Yeah.
We emanate more energy. That's why people, hey, what are you doing? Why you feel so good? You feel peaceful. You feel more joy. What is it about? And people get attracted to your
Yeah.
energy. That is something very common that we can experience when we're doing healing, where people start, what are you doing? You look better. You feel better.
Yeah.
You are changing. While people stay behind thinking, I am just like this, and I think I'm gonna be the rest of my life like this, without
Oh
even
wow.
thinking, hey, I can change. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of life.
Yeah.
People thinking just in about it, you can transform.
Yeah. And
That's
that's the
like,
beautiful thing about plant medicine, man.
definitely.
People tell me like, "Hey, Luis, you lost weight," and I'm like, "No, I'm still on my taco diet." But yeah, it is the energy that the person transmits, man, and it's contagious. Um, so it is a beautiful thing, and I'm super grateful for the plant medicine. Uh, I want to ask you a question to top off this interview is what is the biggest test that you have came across? And whether it's before you started, you know, doing the work or during the work or to the date, what's the biggest test you've had?
Oh, many different kind of tests, no, spiritual tests, testing my patience, testing my faith, testing if I'm gonna doubt, testing if I'm gonna be a warrior of light and continue this battle to heal myself because our darkness inside of ourselves is strong and it invites us to just be comfortable and accept that darkness and act from there, not
Yeah.
so definitely many different challenges, through healing, through doubts, through confusion. I had to meet a lot of things, confusion, sickness, and death. What is all of these things? And ayahuasca permit me to experience at certain levels many different things, no? But yeah, many different challenges. For me, one big challenge that I had in my life. Oh my God, this is a big story I could extend, but let's make it very short, no? I had a master of mine, shaman, a master of mine. I will learn with him many things in life, many years, But into this practice, yeah, definitely there is a lot to learn. I enter as a genuine person, just believing on light and God,
Yeah.
and nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm doing good in life, nothing, I'm with God, I'm praying, I'm, connected, I'm talking to God, in this path, you hear about magic, witchcraft. Oh, this is not real. If I'm with God, nothing ends. But oh my goodness, I had a big experience in life where I started receiving my own spiritual attacks. The hard part
Mm,
is that it's not like, oh, an attack, oh, my life changed, I feel bad, okay, I go and find help. No, my goodness. The person that work on me, yeah, master of master, when people professionalize in something, they can become professional, no? And I say one of the things of the darkness, or let's say the devil, is confusion.
mm,
Confusion. That's the
yeah.
first big tool, when there is
Mhm.
confusion, start thinking twice, what is happening, So in my life, everything, many years drinking ayahuasca, beautiful, receiving beautiful information. Somebody put an eye on me, a shaman didn't like everything I was receiving, and all the knowledge I was receiving, I explain a lot of people, sometimes when we come here with a big mission, we will always have the other side checking on us to see how it can put the temptation, the test, how it can get us out of our track, our destiny, our
Mhm.
path, especially when we want to connect with the light, we're searching something good. There is always, we are in the dimension of duality, so how is light is dark, how is good is bad in a
Mhm.
sense, So me in the pursuing of every time wanted to be a good human being to come and serve humanity, other humans, to help them heal, to help them find their way. So and for me to heal myself and to connect the most I can to God, and to be an employee of God, So
Yeah.
the most I want to search that connection, the more I had the opposite there trying to trick me, trying to, and definitely came through another shaman that put an eye on me and start working on me, But these things are invisible. That's
Yeah.
why a lot of people, oh, I don't believe on that, this, I don't believe on that. Oh my goodness, it does exist. And that was one of my big challenges because for me it was hard to, yeah, I mean, somebody can, but not at the levels I had to experience myself, so much manipulation, confusion, energetically.
Yeah.
How definitely shamans are, they can be very, very powerful,
Yeah.
and there is people out there that have different kind of knowledges that it taught me like to me to you never know who you have in front of you, and the
Yeah.
knowledge that a person have, and the intention behind the person. So I trusted a lot on a shaman I had. He was a master of mine that I worked with him many, many years, but I think he got contaminated, he started working with the darkness, but showing that he was the light, showing
Mm,
he was a good person. But at the end, no, he completely was working for the dark. For me, it was the same devil itself. And for me, it did a pact, So imagine, I had a master, he was the devil working with me. And that one didn't want it for me to accomplish and to learn and to do this work. They want to
mm,
close everything for me because I bring light and I'm going to work for the light and I'm going to help people to heal and the darkness don't want. The darkness want confusion, people in a low vibration, so they can be attached, they can continue working the darkness, So me here bringing the light, and the other one don't want it. And me as a genuine person receiving from this person, many different attacks. So I perceive from blocking vision, from all the chakras they start working, so I
Mm.
can start perceiving my life how I was like this, and then from one second to another, it's like they take the wisdom, they block your vision. So when you drink ayahuasca, you can't perceive what is happening. So they're
Wow.
professional on this. So in my life, I started, oh my goodness, many challenges. Everything was 10 times more hard to do than now. Money wise, I used to work in the bank 2 for 5 years of my life. I started seeing how it was, and everything started clients, everything started going bad, rejection of people, in love, physically, with an anxiety all the time here, of worrying to, I had to one day, with ayahuasca say, I need to stop. There's something happening here that, you know, I talked to the master. He said, no, it's your mind and this. And it was a big error. And I believed him. I need to strengthen my mind. No, no, that's not like that. And I believed him. And it caused me a lot of pain, suffering, because I permit this energy to continue being more strong and affecting me more in life. And our energies that are invisible that are sometimes hard to recognize.
Yeah.
So it's very important to put attention to your nightmares. If you're having nightmares, if you're waking like somebody choking you, as happened to me, like if somebody was choking me with pressure here, sometimes worries and anxiety, there is no reason, and this just start jumping. If your hair start falling down, if things start going from 1 second to another very bad in your life, as you say, people are very negative and
Mm-hmm.
negative sometimes, spiritual energy. So that made me live many different kind of experiences, and the most hard is drinking the same ayahuasca itself and having to encounter these energies,
Yeah.
so many say hundred of times I had to drink ayahuasca and encounter the darkness, encounter myself with the same devil that wanted to to mess up my destiny, to mess me up, to the point that I felt he wanted my soul and to practically take me out of this world. I mean,
Wow.
kill me. So, no joke. That's why I say one of them, I had to battle for my life. I got sick in this path and this, and now I can't go to a doctor to heal me because they were right. So I had to heal and find my way as a shaman, and that's the career of the shaman. This is very common.
Yeah.
You happen to have to see if you're gonna trust on the medicine, be able to heal, and you find your healing through the own medicine, so you can understand really the power of the medicine and to what level the same medicine itself remove the witchcraft, remove the entity. So this person did a lot of affect my life a lot. And it was a process of years, to discover first that something is happening. So that brought a lot of sufferings of things, trying so hard and things not going so well.
Mm.
It took me many years, like, to be able to come out of that situation and clean myself, because what they did was very deep, strong, and professional. So it took a lot for me to go out there and search help and search here and search there
Mm-hmm.
to see where and did. Because when you start searching for shaman, other people to heal you, you can encounter a lot of manipulation, a lot of people that just do this, a lot of people that don't have the knowledge, and the other ones that were from the darkness. So I had to go in different kind of core Catholic priests commenting this is happening. I did many different things. Until I find somebody in Colombia, a specialist on that. That is a person that I bring into our church here in the United States to do that. She comes one
Mm-hmm.
time a year, 2 times a year. It's very big blessing to sit down with her. She's very powerful, and that's her specialist work. Entity removal, witchcraft, anything spiritual that it can be affecting the person, she immediately sees. So she have that eye immediately to see exactly where it is, how it is, because normally what I have learned a lot of time when there is entity attachment, and this normally the same entity puts something in the body of the
Mm.
person. Something in the body, some they can be attached.
Yeah.
That it can come through a spirit, or it can come physical here. There exists a magic that shaman give a person something to drink and they drink it, the magic goes inside, and then they start working and working and working for the magic to start growing, growing, growing until it grows something on the body, and then it starts affecting you, even to create a problem in a leg, to create many physical problems, and like that. All of different kind of witchcraft to me. So imagine, like,
Yeah.
I start feeling like sometimes you can feel like nails, and
Picos.
somebody
Yeah.
voodoo dough and these nails, you can start feeling, but if a mosquito bite you, but there is nothing, and like different kind of symptoms. Very
Yeah.
important for people to be awake and understand. Because personally, from that experience, the part of my mission, yeah, is helping people not to pass through this situation. Because
No.
that's why this church in here, the most important thing is to walk in integrity and humbleness,
No. No.
yeah.
Absolutely, brother.
So that's right there. I mean, I can talk hours and go more in depth into things to understand, But that right there was one of the most big things, that it made me even doubt on God. And like, how can you permit this? If I'm an
Mm.
employee for you, I'm searching it just how to help people, in a good mission, being good, and this happened. How can you permit that, in my suffering, of
No.
years, how. But at the same time, at the end, I understood, what? Part of me knew already, you wanted to be a shaman.
Yeah.
This is what it is to be a shaman.
No.
If you don't experience this by hand, you will know that existence of not just by knowledge, but not by experience. So that's how we learned through ayahuasca. So I had to see how my life got affected, how this influenced my way of thinking, start being a little bit more negative, a little bit more negative, the anxiety, how all those symptoms,
No.
for what? For me to help other ones when they are there.
No.
So I had to pass through my own experience, you know, to understand how to help others and
No.
heal others. How? When I found the healing myself. I know now how witchcraft is, how people are, many different things that exist, many different possibilities, and how to clean and how to remove
Mm-hmm.
these energies out of a person.
Yeah.
A lot of things I do with ayahuasca, with prayer, with cleansing, and at the same time, I bring somebody specialized for that here to United States, so for people that have that kind of problem. Because believe it or not, there is people not, they don't even know the existence of ayahuasca and this that contact our church, immediately say, I feel possession, I feel a demon with me, I feel bad spirit with me, I feel a curse, this is happening in my life, everything is going back, and I feel people just calling us for that, for
Yeah.
those kind of cleans, So my idea, sometimes there are cases that not even me I can help. Some cases are very attached, very hidden. Is that they are not easy to clean. So that's why there are people specialists on what they do. And this is the idea of our church: is to put any service that we can to help other human beings, especially spiritually. So that's why I bring other healers as well too
Mm-hmm.
to our church to help us with certain cases. When I can detect cases in ayahuasca that I clean and I say, no, this person needs another healer, and then that's my idea, through our
Yeah.
church to put over the table options and modalities of cleaning ourselves.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful, man. I appreciate that, and that's good for people to know too. That you offer that because, hey, man, people sometimes don't even know that they have something attached to them, or
Even in
they
their
sometimes they do, and they just like, I need
yeah.
help. Who do I go to? So
Yeah, even in their home sometimes, not only them, in their home they can experience. Look, I have a story of a guy that came one day, I'm not gonna say names, but he came first time, he had never done medicine, not ayahuasca. He came to a shaman, he came to talk to me. And one of the conversation one day he told me, the first conversation, hey, I had an experience one day and in my room I saw this dark thing there, like on the roof and this. I immediately started detecting there's something going on. The person used to have a lot of conflict with her wife and living on depression. Every time worse depression. Oh, man, I had to start cleaning him, helping him. So he was like this. I put him like this. Okay, okay. That. he was doing good. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't, like, with different modalities and this. One day a guy start fighting with the wife, and then more problem, and then he continued going worse. And then until one day he sent me a photo with a gun,
Oh shit.
a photo. I didn't have the phone number of the wife and this. A recently person I just
Oof.
met. And yeah, what happened to me? I mean, it's not my responsibility, but at the same time, it's like, you call to, hey, don't do that, or like, to help this person.
Yeah.
He sent me a photo. I start writing to him, oh, and you saying, writing, hey, dig, trying to help the person. Oh my God, the person stop receiving my message. Oh my God, what can I do? Pray. I see it all night really for that person. He didn't
Yeah.
know the work I did. I see for him praying, dun. I was telling him already about this person from Colombia that I know, that he helped me in the past, and I know that person can help. But it was around COVID, so it was complicated to travel. The
Yeah.
guy, 2 days after, he appears. I'm like, thank God he didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry by sending the photo. I was feeling so bad. I'm like, brother, why don't you go to Colombia? Oh, I'm telling you, there is a solution. Let's try it out. I have seen many things in life. Why don't you go grab buy a ticket and go to Colombia to this lady and this? Man, he hurt me. There's people that
Yeah.
you tell them and they don't do nothing and they stay like that. This guy hurt me. He trusted on me, and he bought his ticket and he went to Colombia. He went.
Man.
It's just one cleansing with her. She went a session. She cleaned. Boom. She makes me vomit. Animals, hair, different things that are able to put on the body. As I say, from a spirit or a shaman, specific putting things.
Wow.
Hair attachment to grabbing your conscience, and you won't get out of that person. That person is gonna have control over you. So this was happening to him. Something in the family. He told me, grandmother, some problem. He had this entity. He was all the time in conflict and depressed. He went and cleaned to Colombia with her, man. He came back completely another person. He
Wow.
immediately stopped feeling depression. Immediately, he came back. He resolved his issues. He separated from the wife. And his life started going like this. The
Wow.
guy, every time, sometimes he called me every 6 months, he appeared all the time doing good,
That's beautiful, man.
saving life. More than one case I have here that almost to kill themselves and this, and we have, God, first of all, medicines, and me and like other healers, like
Yeah.
helping people really saving lives to points
Yeah.
like that. And many of those cases have solutions.
Yeah.
People just don't know what is happening. We need to wake up to understand that we're not alone here. There
Yeah.
is many different planes of existence, and there are different invisible realms of things that we don't see. What happened with ayahuasca? We're able to perceive more. Hmm?
Hmm. Yeah. No, that's beautiful, man. It's such a blessing, and it's a lot of hard work that you do, and as well as other healers around the world. And there's not enough credit that's given to those folks in that line of work. But it's beautiful to be able to see that transformation within a person, especially when they're sending you pictures that way, right? It's like,
Oh my God!
the
So,
hell's going on? Wait a minute now. Don't do anything.
yeah, no, it's
No, man, but it's good. So looks like you've been through a lot, and I'm sure there's more that you could share.
definitely.
But I'm grateful, brother, that you've came again for a second time. And I'm gonna send you and your wife and your baby girl many blessings and love, brother.
Oh,
I'm excited for you.
yeah.
So soon I'll be able to see you, in action. So diapers and milk and bottle
Oh
on
my God.
one hand, and yeah, it's gonna be great. But as always, brother, I appreciate you for your time, for your wisdom, for your love, for always opening up your space. For me personally, I can't give enough credit to you for what you've done just in my journey, and I'm super grateful for you, brother. So
Thank you. Thank you.